into modern monetary theory, which is a macroeconomic theory of money, which I've always been fascinated by. And I thought this is actually a great chance to learn it properly. I challenged myself to learn as much as I could in a week so that I could comfortably explain it to other people. The first thing I did was find a pretty easy kind of entry-level summary of the topic and its application. I found this brilliant article from Warwick Smith, who could explain it clearly and concisely without any jargon, basically. So I got in contact with Warwick and said, hey, I love your article. Who do you recommend on the subject? Who do you read? And Warwick was kind enough to come back and say the names of a few authors and academics who he believed were really good on this topic. And so thereafter, I read a lot. I got right into the detail, took a bunch of notes, and gradually this kind of fuzzy image of a theory gained features and sharpened in focus until I felt I could comfortably write a short explanation, modern monetary theory in 500 words, explaining what it is, why it's important, and how it differs from the economic orthodoxy. So I wrote this basic explainer and sent it to my good friend Alex, who is a keen student of economics. And he was kind enough to come back with questions, a lot of questions, stuff that maybe I hadn't explained well or logical implications of the stuff that I'd referred to, which was incredibly helpful because then it kind of helps me to go, these are the next things which I need to be able to speak to clearly. So I spent the last part of the week taking each one of his questions, going back to the original research and seeking to explain from first principles and hopefully with recourse to the proper academic research, the answers to these questions. And what I realized by the time I got to the end of the week was I'd actually been fulfilling a principle or a technique which is used to learn things quickly, known as the Feynman technique, after Richard Feynman, the theoretical physicist, who would always ask millions of questions for any particular topic which he wanted to learn, so that he got down to a first principles understanding of it and could explain it clearly to someone with no knowledge of the subject. So what I realized in a week, I somehow acquired what I'd like to think is working knowledge of a reasonably complicated macroeconomic theory. But more generally, I refined my ability to learn things quickly and also ended up writing this piece on what is, in my opinion, the best way to learn a new topic. So taking some principles and also how in this particular instance I applied the principle. So yeah, it was an absolutely fascinating week. I absolutely loved reading some economics and getting back to some theory. And I'd love to hear from you if you have ideas about things to learn or things to explore, concepts to fill out in other weeks. And that's it until next week. See you guys.